So in this video, I'm just going to go very briefly my thinking process when I trade Bitcoin. So one of the first things that many people make the mistake in when entering the market is the very first thing. So the timing in entering the market. And the reason for this is because in terms of market cycles, institutions and smart money, they typically enter into the market when the prices are low. So they accumulate their positions at a price that's very low. So then they buy low and then they try to sell high. And the way that they are able to do this is because they play into the psychology of retail investors. So when prices are skyrocketing high, many retail traders would have a sense of fear of missing out. So that's very understandable because when prices are high, our minds, we fear that the prices will keep going high and that we would miss out on the potential gains that other people are getting, but we are not. And this applies to a lot of other things. But in terms of markets, stock markets, crypto markets, this is especially prevalent, which is why a lot of people they entered into the market when the prices were around 15,000 to 20,000. So from December to January. And in terms of common sense, everybody knows that we should be buying low and selling high. But in terms of executing this idea, it's a very difficult thing to do because it really is doing what your mind is telling you not to do. And we see in the market that this is exactly what's happening right now in the Bitcoin market. So when prices are very low at 6,000, we see not a lot of demand compared to when prices were around 11,000. And that's very understandable as well because there's a lot of fear and uncertainty and doubt that prices will go even lower to 3,000 or 5,000 or 4,000 or 2,000 or even 1,000. And the way that traders they make their decisions is to avoid these emotions, avoid these fear of missing out, this fear, uncertainty, and doubt that the prices would go even lower. And the way to do it, they have a variety of ways of doing this, but the very fundamental one is to map out the key supports and resistances. So what we mean by supports and resistances is that when we see a price level which previously acted as resistance, so in this case, Bitcoin established a key support level at 6,000 back in February. And the reason why this support level is established is because if we look back at October, we see that the market faced difficulty in breaching the 6,000 level multiple times. So one, two, three, and four. And on the fourth time, we finally broke through the 6,000 range and then achieved a level which is 8,000 before dropping back down and then bouncing back from this support level again and working towards to 20,000. So it totally makes sense that 6,000 is a key support level. And going back into what's happening in the market right now, the reason why the mainstream media is saying that Bitcoin is dying is because we see that this 6,000 level has been breached recently. And this is a concern for the market because, in terms of price action, when a key support level is broken, it means that a level where there is a lot of demand has been breached. So that means that the price level is trying to work towards a level downwards to seek for another price where demand is even higher than 6,000. Because when people they trade, they typically do not market order buy. So they typically limit order buy. So they place a order inside the order book, and in this case 6,000. So then they try to buy low, and then they set a price target for selling their position at a higher price. So then they sell high. And in this case, because there should have been a lot of demand and orders in the order book at 6,000, but then we breached this level, It means that we need to establish another, not establish, but we need to work towards the downside to a price level where there is more demand than 6,000, which would push the price right back up and work towards a even higher level. And in this case, in terms of Bitcoin, when Bitcoin has been declining from its all-time high, 19,000, to 5,800, 5,700, which is a 70% decline, I would say that it is a good time to enter into the market. But you can say that the price would go even lower to 4,000 or 5,000 or 3,000, which might be true for the bear case. But in terms of the long-term view of Bitcoin, if you see historically, Bitcoin has really went from $1 to $10, crashing down to $2, and then rising back to 100, back to 20, back to 1,000, back to 200, and then back to 1,000, and then working towards to 20,000. A 70% decline this year is really nothing in the grand scheme of things. And it will definitely be a much better position to buy now than to buy it when prices are about to breach resistances, which are 17,000 and 15,000, or even 10,000. So even if Bitcoin will reach 4,000, the market, they will definitely push it back up to 20,000. So that's my logic in saying that right now is a good time to buy Bitcoin. And in future videos, I would talk more about Elliott waves and Wyckoff theory and why I think Bitcoin will reach 30,000, 50,000, 100K, a million in the next few years. And yeah, I will upload these videos at another time. So see you all later.